Oh, they better give us a season 2!
Fairly OddParents: A New Wish just aired its final episode, and it was amazing. I'm gonna go over everything that happened in this epic 2-part finale, and what it can mean for a possible season 2. But before I do all that, if you've been enjoying my content, please give me a like and subscribe. I'm a small YouTuber, so every little bit goes a long way. Thank you so much. Now, back to the show. The final episode, titled The Battle of the Big Wand, opens up with Cosmo and Wanda eagerly waking up Hazel and convincing her to make a bunch of wishes, before explaining that she has now made 999,999 wishes, and that after she makes her 1 millionth wish, she gets to make one rule-free wish. This is a reference to the Fairly OddParents special, Abracatastrophe, where Timmy gets a magical muffin that grants a rule-free wish after keeping his fairies a secret for 1 whole year. I guess they've changed up the rules a bit since Timmy's time with the fairies, and they probably got rid of the whole muffin thing after a monkey bit it and turned the whole Earth into a planet of the apes. Anyway, Hazel goes on to make her 1 millionth wish, but before she can use her one rule-free wish, Cosmo and Wanda's wands turn off, and their magic is no longer working. So they decide to head to Fairy World to see what's going on. When they get to Fairy World, they see that everything is discolored, and now looks more like anti-Fairy World. They get to the castle and are greeted by King Dev and his anti-fairy Irep.
Yeah, and Irep, joint conquerors of Fairy World.
Dev and Irep go around devifying everything in Fairy World before explaining his evil plan. You see, Dev was tired of Hazel getting more attention than him, so he teamed up with the anti-fairies on the anti-web to take over Fairy World and show his dad that he should be his priority.
Ugh, you said it.
Basically, he reprogrammed the microchip in the big wand that powers Fairy World to power the anti-fairies instead. Dev projects himself all over the world and reveals that fairies are real.
I was right!
He announces that he and Irep are the new rulers of Fairy World, and he even gets his dad to say that he's proud of him in front of the whole world.
Dev revealing magic to the world? Who saw this one coming?
Then, Dev sends Hazel back to Earth and throws Cosmo and Wanda into a pit. At the bottom of the pit, Cosmo and Wanda find Perry, who's not looking too good, and is clearly suffering from the effects of magical backup, just as we predicted in our last video. Back on Earth, Hazel gets her creepy landlords to unlock Cosmo and Wanda's apartment for her and let her in. Now, back on Fairy World, or I guess Dev World, Cosmo and Wanda are being guarded by Anti-Cosmo and Anti-Wanda. Then, Dev goes on an illegal wish spree, getting rid of all cows, recreating Pangea, and inventing his own form of music that he calls Dev Step. And then he and Perry do the floss dance. And I know Dev has done some bad things, but this is by far the worst. Please stop. Hazel invites her brother Anthony and her 2 best friends Jasmine and Wynn over and explains to them that she has had fairy godparents this whole time. To no one's surprise, after all of the weird things that they've seen and done this season. With that off her chest, Hazel lays out her plan. They're going to sneak into Fairy World, replace the big wand microchip, free Cosmo and Wanda, and save Fairy World. Back at Dev World, Anti-Cosmo and Anti-Wanda torture regular Cosmo and regular Wanda by reading large words for Cosmo and holding a book upside down for Wanda. Dev's dad and Irep go off to talk about business, once again sidelining Dev. Wanda gets Dev's attention and says that she believes that he's a good person deep down.
Deep down.
She goes on to explain the deadly effects of magical backup to Dev before being interrupted by an alarm system triggered by Hazel and her friends heading to Fairy World. Hazel has assembled a large group of characters and wishes that she's made throughout the season to help her take back Fairy World. The anti-fairies attack, but Jasmine sings a song and gets them all to raise the roof instead. Then, Wynn uses their cool skateboarding moves to distract the anti-fairies, and Anthony riding a dinosaur breaks down the gate, and the kids head up to the big wand. Wanda once again begs Dev to make a wish so that Perry doesn't explode from magical backup, and Perry's faces here are just so funny.
You're my first god kid, and I care about you.
Even in Perry's delusional, near-death state, he's still rambling about how much he cares about Dev, and how he wanted to do a good job with his first god kid. Hearing all this causes Dev to tear up, and he throws the key into the pit so that Cosmo and Wanda can escape. Which I guess is nice, but that still doesn't help Perry. Make a dang wish, Dev! Look at this guy! Hazel reunites with Cosmo and Wanda, and they get the magical microchip back. But Cosmo is starting to experience magical backup too, So Hazel and Wanda fly on Stanky Danky up to the big wand and put the chip back in. But sadly, it didn't work. And now Wanda is experiencing magical backup too. So Hazel calls on Barry the dinosaur to help out, and he gives the wand the shock it needed to start up. Wanda is not looking good, but Hazel wishes for her to restore Fairy World back to normal, and it works. With his magic restored, Jordan sends all of the anti-fairies back to Anti-Fairy World, and makes everyone back on Earth forget what they've learned about fairies existing. For exposing fairies, Dev loses his fairy and gets his memory wiped too. But in the end, he did the right thing. Then, Jordan is about to wipe the memory of Hazel's friends, but Hazel uses her one rule-free wish to wish for her friends to keep their memories and be allowed to know about fairies forever, much to Jordan's dismay. In the end, Hazel, her fairies, and her friends all ride farting dirt bikes off into the sunset as one big happy family. Oh, and Perry's there too. I guess his magical backup was resolved somehow off screen? I don't know. And the last moment of the show is Perry pleading with Nickelodeon for them to please get a season 2.
Oh, they better give us a season 2!
Speaking of season 2, it has not been greenlit for any more episodes at the time of me writing this. This is confirmed by members of the show's cast and crew on Twitter, including the writer of this episode, who said this. And even the voice actor of Hazel herself, who said this. So if you want to see a second season, make sure to watch the episodes on television or stream them when they come to streaming. And what would a season 2 even look like? Well, there will obviously be a fun new dynamic in the show, with Hazel's friends now knowing about her fairies, which isn't something we've seen a lot of in Fairly OddParents. And there's a lot of fun concepts from the original show that would be interesting to bring back, like the pixies or the genies. Also, it would be really cool to see what Timmy's up to these days, since the showrunner confirmed that this is not Timmy, even though he's credited as Timmy in the credits, and looks exactly like Timmy looks as an adult when he wishes to be older. But that's a discussion for another video. Anyway, I thought it was a really great finale, and a good way to wrap up the season. What did you guys think of the finale? Let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far into the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Goodbye!